Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I have a very simple message today. It's basically living in a beautiful state, knowing that we all go through the initiations into awakening, into coming into our psychic abilities, but also activating them and seeing how we are demonstrating that wisdom, that grace, that understanding of the Spirit and walking with the Spirit, emulating the truth of the Spirit, and recalibrating and aligning with the Spirit's desires and dreams and aspirations and inspirations. So, allowing yourself to take the edge off and take the weight off yourself and take the weight off expectations and not to think about it in a very vast or complex way is just choosing to live in a beautiful state. The greatest message that I ever heard was just to choose to live in a beautiful state no matter what happens, no matter what transpires, no matter what challenges or reflections or healing that you go through. You choose to live in a beautiful state because that is the sense of fulfillment and the drive and the motivation that you have when you choose to live in it, when you choose to resonate in it, and you choose to imbibe it no matter what happens in your life. And it's a test, it's the greatest test to ever go through, is to choose right now, here, presently, is to live in that beautiful state, maintain that enlightened awareness, maintain that presence of awareness, but also live in the beautiful state and imbibe and demonstrate that and use it as a form of representation, leading by example. So when you lead by example, you choose to live in a beautiful state no matter what presents itself to you, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what happens to you, no matter what transpires, no matter how much healing you go through, no matter if you're going through the dark night of the soul, you choose in this moment very powerfully just to live in a beautiful state. Meaning that you're not thinking about it, you're not thinking about your limiting beliefs, you're not thinking about letting go, but in this moment you transmute that energy and you transform and you live in that beautiful state no matter what. Because when you kind of force yourself to live in that beautiful state, when you choose that purification above all else, when you choose that destiny above all else, and you don't allow yourself to be stopped in that moment, it means you just choose to live in the beautiful state that is presently here and presently aware. And it's a very uplifting thing because you're taking the expectation away. You're taking the definition of it. You're taking the false pretenses of this experience, and you're just choosing to live in it and imbibe it and choose to be it in a very beautiful and wholesome way. Because it reinforces the very fact that if you choose to live in a beautiful state, it means you're choosing to resonate there. That means that you can lead by example. It means that you can be an example, but also be a demonstration for another person, acts of service. So it's funny because I was out in my yard and I was pulling weeds, but I felt like it was more of service and kind of the metaphoric way of just kind of weeding out the things that don't need to be there anymore, letting go of things, allowing yourself to do something out of service, out of obedience. Very simple if you live your life in a meditative state. You can choose to live it very beautifully in this moment, meaning that you will have your triggers, you will have your emotions, you will have your false pretenses and your misconceptions of perception. But those are just little stepping stones that initiate us living in a beautiful state and continuously and having an ongoing progression of channeling and imbibing and maintaining that beautiful awareness. Meaning that just because you didn't feel that great in the morning doesn't mean you have to live the rest of the day like that. Just because you had an argument with your significant other doesn't mean that you can't find a resolution within your problem. So seeing solutions and seeing less problems, less anticlimactic moments and experiences and generations of energy and configurations of energy allows us to use our psychic abilities as a way of reflection, as a way of demonstration, as a way of giving love, but also as a way of service, because when you show others and demonstrate to others that you live, breathe, and walk in the Spirit, it means you're living in the truth of it. It means that you're choosing to live in this beautiful state here and now, and no matter what seems impossible, no matter what seems so damning, so controlling, or so limiting within your life, you choose in that moment to be strong, to be bold, to be wise, and to never sway from it, because you know living in that beautiful state will always bring you back to that preferred state of alignment. So sometimes it's just picking your thought. Sometimes it's making an aligned action. And sometimes it's the ability to show out and to show up to your life as if you're meant to be there. But also it could be just releasing, just receiving, healing. Sometimes it's letting go of something. But nothing is keeping us from the beautiful state. It's us accepting the beautiful state as it presently comes to us. And then we channel that beautiful state, and we channel that embodiment, and then we reinforce it as a way of living, as a way of continuing, as a way of keeping and pushing forward. So one of the things that I was asked a question last night on one of my lives was the very thing that this person said, how do you keep pushing on and not fall back into distorted ways? She kind of phrased it in a way that I didn't really resonate with. But basically the origin of the question was, how do I keep pushing through? Yes, I'm from Florida as well. So as you keep pushing through, if you think that you're falling back in your own ways or in a specific pattern, or the very act of you saying that I'm falling back in this way and I can't push through, that's debilitating, that's negative. That doesn't allow you to really imbibe who you are. So losing the identification of that said statement or that question or that inquiry will allow you to be acknowledging the fact that if you say that you're already falling back, you're going to fall back into it. Even if you have to fall back out of it and then come back, if it has to be that transformative and realizing and coming back to balance and reflecting that love and that light back to the Creator, then experience it, let it go, ditch it. Don't think about it anymore. But it's really just reinforcing your thoughts, your actions, everything that you do on a single moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis, on everything that you do that goes against the current direction and the flow and the accumulating of that spiritual mass, of that light that is inside of yourself. Whatever goes against that, that means that is of a distorted nature. It means that it's manipulating you and infiltrating you, trying to not allow you to be the illusion within your life. What's so funny is that we don't see ourselves as an illusion. We don't see ourselves as energy. We don't see ourselves as a generation of energy. But we are an illusion. So we're here to mass produce an illusion that is more in sync with its vibration and more in sync with what it wants to co-create, and in sync with what its hearts and desires and its aspirations and ambitions and goals that it wants to bring forth within this creation. So seeing it in that moment, to live in a beautiful state is the art of not switching your state, not falling back into a pattern, not falling into a belief system, not falling in and out of alignment all the time, even though we do a lot of the time. Meaning that just because you do fall in and out of alignment doesn't mean that that's a bad thing either. But it just means that it's just a simple reminder. So it's a subtle reminder. So if it's reminding you and reflecting to you the universe as it does, always choose to reflect that back to yourself so that it's very much an activation. Activating your heart, activating your mind, activating the spirit within yourself. So that's where the telepathy is there, because our higher self teaches us telepathy. It teaches us to read the room without having to know the information or know all the details of the said information. So meaning that we don't have to be near someone to understand what they need or what they desire. So our higher self telepathically helps us with seeing into the future, with seeing and interpreting messages, intuitively investigating it, but also accumulating that mass as you're channeling the higher self. So when we're able to see things in this third dimension, we're able to bring information from many different dimensions and configurations and hidden realms and things that are hidden that are not shown to us. So as you grow with your gifts, as you grow with your embodiment, as you grow in channel, we allow ourselves to take on more information and mass and direction and accumulation of energy, and allowing ourselves to attract that within ourselves. But also, we have a sense of smell and sight and a foresight and an insight that allows us to develop continuously. So everybody on this earth can communicate with the dead. Everybody is psychic. So there's nobody that doesn't have an awareness. Everybody has an awareness, and has an awareness of the appearance of light, which is the aspects of all of our guides, our higher selves, and the abilities that we're supposed to bring on this earth as a way shower, as someone who's helping the collective. We share because we have to demonstrate. And if we're demonstrating, then we're teaching. And if we're teaching, then we are explaining and deciphering the encrypted messages as they come. So understanding that we're reflecting those encrypted messages and those downloads and frequencies, but the knowledge to know oneself is to really imbibe who you are in this moment. To accept oneself is to see that you're the extension of everything. So the oneness is not far from you. Glory is not far from you. But to see that in this moment, that we're all connecting to source energy. We're all connecting to the universe. We're all connecting to the transcendence that made us and created us. But also, we're able to project much differently as an entity. Then we project much differently. Then we're speaking things into existence in a much fluent manner. So we're more fluent, there's more of a flow, there's more of a fluidity, and there's more of a change inside of ourselves. So we're aware of that, but we're also not regressing, but we're progressing. So we're not a regressive energy in the human collective. We're progressing. It means that we're moving forward. We're getting over the mountain. A lot of you are going to be going over the mountain, meaning a lot of you will be of service. You'll write books, you'll teach people, guide people. And if I could have done something, if I could have extended a hand, or if I could have shared, then that would have allowed you to recognize how important it is to show up to your life as if you're meant to be there. Now, I'm not saying that you won't have your challenges, you won't have your ridicule or your naysayers, and you will have acts of rebellion within yourself, but you have to fucking do that. Being rebellious is very powerful. To heal is very rebellious. To break the rules is very fucking rebellious. To live the life of your dreams is the most fucking rebellious thing that you can do in this moment. And that's why it's powerful. Rebellion is not like when you were a kid and you told your mom off, or you did something in your backyard that you shouldn't have been doing. It actually means that you're resisting that negative, dark, distorted way of living. It means you're resisting it. It means you're like, no, that's not part of me. So you're seeing where your energy lies. That's complete alignment. That's complete truth. But also, it's the complete demonstration of who you are as a spiritual entity of love and light, the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. God manifested in human form, which that we are. And I am because you are, and you are because I am. So everybody is the same, but everybody has inseparability. And if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't be different. And we wouldn't be unique and special and vibrant and loving. So that's why we are powerful beings. We don't think we're powerful. We think physical, we think mental, and we always think on expectations. But when you fully lose the expectation and you allow God to use you as an instrument of the divine, because we're the true scientists of spirituality, if you really think about it. We are the divine instrument which the knowledge is channeled and given and resonated, but also activated. Meaning that I don't have to, let's say I grab this drink here. I don't have to use this instrument to conduct the experiment and show you my hypothesis that I wrote down, and then come back to you 5 months later about my findings and all of the experiments that I did. You're the experiment. You are the divine instrument. You are what generated the hypothesis and also the question of reality, of time and space and understanding. So it's understanding that you're the instrument of spirituality. You are the divine instrument that is being used, not in a negative way, but being used in a positive way. So it's the ability to choose to live in a beautiful state is knowing that You don't own anything. You don't possess anything. You don't possess your life, your partner, anything. It means that you're not attached to the physical focus anymore. And so if you're not attached to the physical focus, it means that you blend the non-physical and the physical with your true nature. And the understanding that nobody in this moment really knows who they are. You've never seen a reflection of yourself, and you've never really seen your exact energy. There's a reason for that, because we can't go so far ahead of ourselves, because then we'll use our mind and our ego and our false pretenses and then go off on the deep end and fall back into certain ways. So there is a container, there is a filter to be had, and there is a maturation that we have in order to carry that wisdom, that grace, and that understanding. So therefore, when we open up to that and we're aware of it and we're loving towards it, then we are able to demonstrate it, meaning that we've integrated in such a way, very vastly, very quickly, how to be that consistently, how to make your meditations more powerful so that you're not meditating for 5 hours. Instead, you can meditate for 10 to 15 minutes and feel absolutely alive. There's a way to do it. I think it comes with time. I think it comes with practice. But I think it's how much do you want your meditations to be impactful? How do you want your meditations to be the impact? And how do you want to impact your own life in this moment, no matter what presents itself to you, and no matter what happens, if the world is yelling or children are yelling, no matter what happens, you choose to live in your beautiful state, and you don't go over here, you don't go over there, but it's just fully aligned in that moment. And it's pure, and it's sincere, and it's complete resonance and vibration. So when we do this healing in a minute, because we're doing metaphysical healings today, and I'm going to help you guys tap into your psychic abilities. And also, we're going to have some of my guides interact with you. But what I felt led by this message is that when you make the decision, when you take a chance on yourself, when you take risks, when you study, when you seek, when you really seek God and feel God in this moment as the higher self and understanding, no matter if you don't get anything from this message, just leave this one thing. That no matter what happens in your life, no matter what challenge, no matter what reflection, no matter how many times you have to be accountable, no matter how many times you have to step into leadership roles, no matter how many times you do your gifting, do it because you are giving the world and the universe and the heart of Source and the heart of God, that Shekinah glory, back to another person and allowing them to live in a beautiful state, and you're giving heaven to them so that they can escape hell. So we're here to manifest our heaven, not manifest our proverbial hell. So if you didn't get anything from this message, that's one thing that you can always take with you. So we are going to be doing healing energy today. So if you guys want to book a private session, feel free to do so. Also around 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing live readings tonight. I do have a $50 special for 1 hour sessions. If you want to book those, feel free to do so. And we're going to be doing some healing energy. I'm going to call in some of my guides, but we're also going to be tapping into our psychic abilities here and now. Activate your telepathy in your third eye. Activate the sense of not having to know everything, to know the intuition, to know the guidance, to know the information. Allowing yourself to tap into simultaneity in this moment. And allowing yourself to receive healing from Jesus within the heart, the Apostle Paul within the mind. And allow yourself to activate your higher self in this moment. So very quickly, we are tapping into the energy source of God's source energy and the great I am. Meaning that we hold our ground, meaning that we are not swayed, means that the power is just fully channeled within our embodiment, within our source of energy, within who we are as love and light and wisdom. And as channeling that oracle, you use your abilities and you're able to see into the future. You're able to be clairvoyant and able to see within the third dimension. But here we access the knowledge of the hidden realms. And we allow ourselves to just be open towards the unknown in this moment. Be able to hear clairaudience and be able to be that transcendence within the clairsentience. And allow yourselves to channel whenever you need to. Channeling another being, channeling your higher self. Channeling is the direct source of knowing ourselves, once again. When we become a divine channel, we become a frequency, we become electromagnetic kinetic source energy, which allows us to be connected to our spiritual origination. And also we're going to activate the galactic chakras and recalibrate the chakras here and now. Archangels of love and light, who's willing to cleanse us of our auric field, tapping into God's source energy and the great I am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth, grounding. And we're also going to be receiving from Sasquatch, being interdimensional beings, transversing space and time, but being the shapeshifters of our reality. Be that shamanic soul. And just shift into the vibration that you need to shift into whenever you need it. That means finances, that means better well-being, better relationships. And in this moment, we can just offer the universe and say that I am yours. I am being used of service. I am being used as a source of love, as a source of understanding, as a source of healing. And I offer myself to God's source energy and the great I am. Because when you do that, you take away the expectations of lack. You take away the expectations of time. You take away the expectations of being perfect. And you allow yourself in that moment to accept grace and accept the Shekinah glory in this moment. And you choose to demonstrate that in every aspect of your life, no matter what it is. Where all the aspects of the I am presence can be fully balanced. And no matter what happens in your life, no matter what happens in your life, you choose to live in a beautiful state. Always. Always, forever, and become infinity. Heaven is within. You can have heaven on the inside and the outside, but it's just choosing to accept it. And we're going to cleanse the ears, cleanse the sinuses, and cleanse the throat chakra. And we're also going to connect with the tree people, which are the representations of the I am. And they're just going to help us be grounded into the roots to receive the water, but also to receive the riches of life and the slice of life, and to allow us to come back into balance with our true state of being. You can also receive emotional healing in this moment of traumas, of past lifetimes, of physical abuse, no matter what it was. Allow yourself to be cleansed, to be purified, and to release it in this moment. And we also have the source dragon coming in, helping us with the vibrations of God, the sensations of God, and the codes and the frequencies of the utmost, highest vibrations. Helping us tap into God code. When we tap into our intuition and our guidance, we allow ourselves to be guided by the driving force of the universe. Meaning in this moment, allow yourselves to use telekinesis, time travel, connection with your guides, just channeling source. Whatever you do, use it to help others live in a beautiful state. And if you do this, and do it with all your heart, you will receive the greatest gift ever. The gift of giving and receiving. And this is how we transcend the human condition. This is how we live in a beautiful state, no matter what presents itself to you, no matter what happens in your life. But it means that you gather your will, you gather your energy, you center yourself, and you choose every day to be redeemed, to be forgiven, and to know that grace has been given. And now is the choice to just access the free will and demonstrate that with honor, integrity, and courage. Be truthful in your vibration. See everything as being beneficial. And just become God manifest in human form, which is the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom. So everyone take one last deep breath. Exhale. When I snap my fingers, you'll come back to. You'll have a greater sense of clarity. You will know who you are. And you will become God in human form, which is the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom. So I'm just looking at the comments here. So I hope you guys really enjoy the healing and just being a part of the message. To live in a beautiful state is the most freeing state. It's the thing that uplifts you. It's the thing that changes you. It's the thing that really reinforces who you are and what you're about. And if are you about that, and just allow yourself to do that no matter what is going on, and just have a backbone, be strong, be bold, and know that you can live that life and live it for others, but also live it for your highest benefit, whether it's finances, whether it's podcasts, no matter what it is. Do it to the best of your ability, and don't give up on yourself, because before we absolutely make it, that's usually when we're at the precipice of giving up on something. And usually before we give up, that's when it's supposed to happen. So we're always being tested. We're always trying to demonstrate our faith, but also learning how to play with the laws of this creation. And sometimes it's wild, and sometimes it's crazy, but embrace that. Embrace yourselves and love yourselves and know that you're here for a greater purpose. So guys, I have private session specials. If you want to book a private session with me, 1 hour, $50 for psychic readings, healings, activations, an hour and 30 minutes for 100, 150 for 2 hours. Also, I'm going to be going live around 8 or 9 o'clock. Well, I have a client at 9, so probably 10 o'clock where I do readings and healings for people. I hope to see you guys there. I do 2 lives almost every day, so. And my foot is completely asleep. I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of it. God bless and namaste. And until next time, this is White Wolf signing off. And so it is. God bless.